Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. If you remember just a few segments ago, I did a review on Earthbound Studios, the Fly Big Head. Well, today you see in front of you the finished piece. This one was a blast to paint. So many challenges and so many options. With this one I wrestled with trying to do the eye pattern that I've seen others do, which were amazing. I think of Steve Rojo's. Boom. I've seen so many other options shown to me, and I bought the material, I tried it, it wasn't me. So what I ended up doing is, was my second choice, was using the iridescent paints to kind of build up colors, layers, and textures. And that's what I did with the finished piece. I'm going to kind of just spin it around for a moment for you, just so you can kind of take a look at this large and imposing piece. You can see just Joe Simon had so much detail in this sculpt. The fur, the coat, the pores in the head, everything. It's just, as you can see, it's just a beautiful kit. And it's quite large. I asked my wife what she thought, and her response was, "It's creepy." So I knew I did it right. So we'll talk a little bit about it, what I did to bring this one to life. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, it's actually pretty good. It's The Return of the Fly. I have the double DVD collection here of The Fly and Return of the Fly. I recently revisited both movies. I've always been a fan of the first one, but the second one held its merit. It's very worth a try. You could probably still pick this DVD up on Amazon, eBay, different things like that. But it's worth the look. Okay, so what I did with this one is I base coat it, as always, black. Of course, you start with an automotive primer. I always like to use the Krylon automotive primer, gray. Then what I do is I hand brush black over the entire piece. You could use, I'm sure, just get a spray can or use some of the base coat blacks that are available, you know, to blow it through your airbrush. For me, I don't know, I just like, maybe it's just the old school feeling of holding a brush, you know what I mean? So I just like to take my Delta Cream coat and just have at it. I use a large flat brush and I just start painting. I start having fun. It's usually 2 coats. But with a bigger brush it goes quicker, but I always like to do 2 coats, that way you get everything, you know, just because sometimes you just miss it and you go back and think, how did that get there? You know, as we age it even gets better, huh? So once everything was black, base coated, I started with the base. And what I did with the base is I put some silver into my trusty Patriot 105 Extreme, and I just misted that silver over the entire base. Real simple, huh? Just went back and blew it through and mixed that silver down, especially if you use a Delta Cream coat or Apple or any of them bottle ones, because that stuff will clog. So I mixed it down, sprayed the entire piece, came back in with some transparent black and muted the colors, hit some of the areas a little heavier so it gives it kind of a worn look, like it's a dirty metal, if you will. Then I came in with some gold, and I just kind of lightly hand brushed this area, the little machine pieces, the little knob here, the ring, the center of this, and some of the pieces over here. Then I came in with transparent red oxide, and I kind of went over the whole piece. And it gives you just it kind of gives you a look here of, you know, just, I don't know, it just dirties it up, and it also kind of brings the gold down a bit. And then of course with that I came back in with my transparent black and just muted the whole thing down. And it just brings it down. It's not too stark, but you can still see the colors, and they come through on that transparent black. Now for the knobs, basically just mixed up some colors, pale blue, dark red, and this I believe was a yellow orch I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. All from Jesse at Garage US Colors. Some dark red on the knob here. Straight up black on the backgrounds here, around here, and also around this area here. All that was basically just airbrush, which I then switch over to my Badger Chrome. Very detailed airbrush, and I just get in there and get all the tight areas. Now for the lettering itself, I basically, over the black, I came in with a light green, and I just airbrushed all the letters with that. Came in for the lower parts of the letters here, and I used a transparent blue, believe it or not, and I just sprayed that over it, which gives it, I believe, a nice contrast of the different separation of the colors there. And then just a real light misting of the transparent black. You don't want to get close with that, you just want to dull it a little bit. So I usually hold it back, like if the piece was here, I'm probably back here, and I just kind of 1, 2, 3, done. And it gives you that. If you make a mistake, that's the beauty of it. Load your airbrush back up, come in with your original color, hit it again, boom. Then it's a back and forth process. And never give up on the first shot, because it's only paint. Do it again. It's fine. It'll be okay. So that basically was the base. As you can see, a very simple base. You could probably do a lot of different things with it. I just chose to keep it stand out a little bit, but yet not overpowering. I want the overpowerness of this kit to be the head. Everything else, to me with this, what I was trying to do is start with the base and build like a good song. Then you hit the bridge, boom, you're in the chorus. That's what I was trying to do with this one. Now for his body part, if you will, again, black. Over the black, I came in with the Badger Near Black and just airbrushed all the areas along the collar area, along the tops of the shirt here, and then come in, you guessed it, transparent black, tone it down and hit a little heavier in all the little folds here that Joe sculpted in. You just want to just deepen that in so it's a shadowing. And then that usually gives you what you're looking for. Now on his shirt, basically again over the black, I came in with white, and it was actually a bone white, again through the Garage US Colors. Shot the whole shirt, all the way around. Then I came in with transparent Payne's Gray, and that's where I brought it down and hit the shadow areas of the shirt, is with the Payne's Gray. You want to go a little heavier. I went a little heavier here on the button slots, on the buttons themselves on the shirt. And then of course you come back in with your original white and you want to just hit all the highlights. You can either do it with the airbrush, or you could also old school it with some dry brushing. I just chose to pull out the good old chrome and just hit all the highlight areas, and then you can just, you know, kind of tone it back down with your Payne's Gray, transparent Payne's Gray, that is. And that's really all I did with his shirt. Now the fur area here, over the black, I basically just took some gray, like a medium gray, dry brushed it all. Hit everything. This is a dry brusher's dream right here. You just, boom, just go through, dry brush everything, and then I came back in with a transparent dark brown and just lightly misted it. A little bit of raw umber over that. Came back in with the gray a little bit and hit some of the areas again, you know, around the shirt, open here, some of the pieces over his shirt, and then just a misting of the transparent black. For me, just ties it all together. And really, that's all I did with the body. And as you can see, if you go around here, this I just chose to keep the black. I came back in with the transparent black over the black and just hit it. All the back of the jacket, all of this area, and even inside the jacket areas here. I'm not a fan of masking. I'm not opposed to it. Basically, for me, I just pull out the finer airbrush and I just kind of hit it inside there. You know, if I get a little bit on there, I just go back and touch this up. To me, I keep moving. For my mind, I have to just keep moving. And so I just roll with it. Taping it off means more time. It is probably the proper way to do it. Less mistakes, less cleanup, less problems. I guess I like problems. So that's what I did with this. Now the head, which is me, the crescendo of this piece, Joe Simon just, you know, I don't know if you can see the size of this, but this is a true big head from Earthbound Studios. With this, again, over the black, I came in with rich brown and shot the whole head area. So everything you see was all done with the rich brown. I then came back in with transparent dark brown and kind of misted it over it. Again, hold back. You don't want to do that because then you're, you know, washed out. Then I come back in with the transparent black and I start deepening in all the shadow areas of the around the eyes, along the top of the head, you know, all these different areas around the nose area. You know, you go back and forth, you deepen it, you come back in, you highlight more of the areas with the rich brown. I go back and forth to my eye sees what I'm trying to do. And when you paint, you know what I mean. So it was back and forth with that, just rich brown, the transparent dark brown, and transparent black. Back and forth process until you get what you are looking for. Then of course when my eye seen what I wanted, I just came back in with the rich brown and just lightly hit it heavier on all the tops, all the folds, just to give it that boom, that look you want to see. Now for his all this antenna stuff that you see all around him, his claws and all that stuff, it was basically over the black, some rich brown, some transparent dark brown, and some transparent black. Just back and forth. You know, building up, toning down, building up, toning down. Finally the highlights. And I did that on the all this here that you see. Now, for all the little other areas here, that basically was all done with black, and then of course airbrush with the Nair black, which gives you a grayish black look. You just keep going back and forth. It's really basic with that. Then you just boom, hit it with the transparent black, just tones it all back down. Inside of his nose area here, I just hit a little bit heavier on the browns and then some blacks to bring it down. Same with inside of his mouth area. Did a little bit of a reddish, the dark red around, I guess it would be his lips area, and tone that down with some transparent black. Now the fun part, the eyes. The eyes have it on this kit. This to me makes this kit. Again, like I said at the beginning, the pattern in the eyes, if you do it, bravo, it's going to be great. But I believe you can do some different things with the iridescent paints too, which I chose to do. So basically, started with the black, hit the whole eye area with pearl gold, which is another kit color you can get from Jesse at Garage US Colors. And I originally started with that because I had some ideas with the netting and different things that I was going to try. But then I quickly thought, you know what? No, I ain't going to do it. So believe it or not, over the gold, I just missed it. Some trans black. Again, right about here. Just do the whole area. And then I started with my iridescent colors. I didn't have any when I started this. So I ordered a complete set from Jesse. And 2 days later, it might have been 3, boom, they were here. Thanks, Jesse, you rock. So I started thinking, okay, now I've got all these colors. Green was the first one that I really wanted to do. So I took the green, loaded up my Patriot 105 Extreme, and just started spraying. Note, do not stay close to the piece when you're doing that. It runs, it spreads, it's a mess. I may or may not have done that. Don't do it. Save yourself a lot of aggravation. Again, the trick of that, I was about this spot, and you start going with it. You'll see the colors gradually start to build. It's not a, oh man, look at that. It builds. I did a couple light coats, let it dry, came back in and went boom. There it is. So I kept working that a couple times, going around the areas. Came back in with the trans black and did all the outer rings of his eyes, as you can see, with some trans black. Kind of misted it over the eye, over the green, yeah, over the green. Came back in a little bit more with the green, just a quick boom. Then I tried something. I took some purple iridescent and sprayed that over it. Came back and that brings like light color variations. I'm hoping this picks it up. I also took some pictures, which will be, of course, like always, before the video. So that was a back and forth process. Purple, green, transparent black. You want to get the edges inside the eye area, go a little heavier, all the way around. No, do all this before you put those on. It'll be a train wreck. So you get all that done, and as you can see, it just gives it a nice look, like a fly would be. You know, if you've ever caught a fly or squished one, hopefully you didn't hear help me, but after you swat that fly, if you look at them, their eyes are that green thing. I know if you magnify them from what I researched online, you see the pattern stuff. But generally I'm not looking for that. I was just looking for that weird look, for the eyes to be the centerpiece of the kit. And that's what I attempted to do with this, and I'm happy with it. And then once I back and forth that with the purple, the greens, I then took the green again and just hit like a area here on each eye, a little bit more of just the green so it would stand out, so you get like a green, purplish, dark black, and then coming back into a bright green. And that's what they look like. I mean, you could do many things. I've toyed with red. There's so many different colors you could try to do for the fly. You could maybe do a combination of them. That's the beauty of it. Go for it. See what happens. So that's what I did with him. And then, of course, for the glossing, I used the good old Tamiya that Saul put me onto. Thanks, man. I did try to airbrush that through. I did like it. I did one coat of that and thought, So I got out a good wide brush and just took it and painted it on. It just gives it a real wet look and just makes the eyes pop. So basically that's all I did. Here it is. It's going in the other side in the man cave with the rest of my big heads. One of the highlights of my collection is seeing all those kits lined up from Mark at Earthbound Studios. Still have 3 or 4 more of his to do, but this one is finished. Glad it's done. It gave me some challenges with the eyes, but it grew me as a painter. It grew me as an artist. And that's the purpose. We want to grow. We don't want to stay there, do we? Grow with it. It's a hobby. Go. Try it. Boom. Do it. It's all good. So the fly, Earthbound Studios, sculpted by Joe Simon. I believe it is available still. You can contact Mark Brokaw. I'll have some information at the end of the video for this. And again, thank you for today for stopping in at Talking Models with Troy Naird. As you can see, I'm getting ready for Halloween. I got my It here of Calvin and Hobbes, and you got Calvin there all terrified. Hobbes is It. It's Halloween, guys. That's why we're doing this today. So enjoy the day. Please subscribe. Tell your friends about this channel. Stop in, comment, make suggestions. Say, boom, I want that kit. You know, whatever it is, it's all good. So have a great day today, and may God bless your day.